clock is right. Good morning. I'd like to bring the August 13th, 2014 Planning and Zoning meeting to order. Would everybody please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Posenel,
Here.
Commissioner Selberg,
Here.
Commissioner Buck, Commissioner Azarmi,
Here.
Commissioner Walker, Commissioner Coletta,
Here.
Commissioner Jones,
Here.
Commissioner Gabrielson, Commissioner Gordon,
Here.
and Chairman Flouché.
Here.
Thank you. You have a quorum.
Thank you. A couple announcements today. Anyone who has not yet signed in, please do so at the table located in the lobby. Should anyone wish to speak, please complete the request to speak form, which is also located on the lobby table next to the sign-in sheet. A request to speak form must be completed for each item you'd like to speak on, including sub-items. Please note that there are stairs on the right, left, and center aisle, and we ask that you use caution when using the stairs. There's also a ramp located at the audience's left. If anyone has written comments, exhibits, petitions, photos, or letters they intend to present at today's meeting, please have 17 copies and give them to the staff member located in the back of the auditorium. She has her hand up. If you do not have 17 copies, you may use the table with the overhead camera next to the podium to present your documents. If you want your documents to go on record, you must hand them to the clerk after your presentation with the agenda item clearly marked on the document. Members of the public cannot speak to the staff members that are sitting on the table with microphones during the meeting. If you have any questions, please see the staff member in the back of the auditorium, and she'll take you and meet you in the lobby. Staff members are in the front here. A timer will be activated for all speakers and will be limited to 2 minutes to make your presentations and statements. Everyone, please turn off your cell phones or pagers or place them on vibrate during the meeting. If you must receive a call, please leave the meeting area and go outside to have your conversation. We also ask that the audience refrain from talking to one another during the presentations and discussion. Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. The items with a recommendation made by the Commission will be heard by the Board of Supervisors on Tuesday, September 2nd at 9:30 a.m. in the same location, with the exception of any continued items. Everyone attending the meeting is asked to remember that the administrative building and campus are a tobacco-free area, which means no smoking is allowed curb to curb. Also, only bottled water is allowed in the auditorium. No food, soda, coffee, etc. will be allowed. If there's any item remaining on the agenda, the Commission will break for lunch at 1 p.m. Approval of last month's minutes, meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review them? Any changes or corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we accept last month's minutes.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jones and a second by Commissioner Coletti. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Our regular agenda. Item number 1. Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like to call on our the director, Nick Hunt. He's got an announcement he'd like to make.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, it's my privilege to introduce our new senior planner, Hal Barton. Hal, please come up here. Hal comes from California. He went to Cal Poly Pomona, very prestigious school, has great experience in planning as a consultant and also in management. And we're very lucky to have him, and he's going to be one of our senior planners, and he's going to represent certain items here at the commission. I'd like to introduce him, and if you want to say hi.
Absolutely, just a
Please
pleasure
state
to
your
be
name.
here. My name is Hal Barton, and truly glad to be here. And
We're glad you're here.
Thank
and,
you.
we
looking
welcome
forward
and,
to meeting you. And one of the projects Nick's already delegated me will be the general plan that is coming up real quick.
Oh,
Glad to be bringing it. Anyway, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Back to item number 1.
Item 1 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of a portion of assessor's parcel number 402-59105C from an R1 single-family residential zone to an RTT single-family residential manufactured homes and travel trailers zone to allow placement of recreational vehicles as residences on currently vacant lots in the Virgin Acres vicinity. Staff recommends approval as indicated in the staff report. Thank you.
Is the applicant present? Anyone? Okay, thank you, Ray. There are no speakers on the item. Any questions of the applicant?
No.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve per staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Motion by Commissioner Posnell, a second by Commissioner Selberg. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 2.
Item 2A is an evaluation of a request to rescind and cause property to revert from an RO1A single-family residential manufactured homes prohibited 1 acre minimum lot size zone to the previous zone of AR10, agricultural residential 10 acre minimum lot size for failure to meet conditions of approval as specified in Resolution 2013-100, which conditionally approved a rezone of assessor's parcel 402-77009E in the scenic vicinity. This is a request by the department basically to clear this former rezone from the records to facilitate the following item 2B. Staff recommends that Resolution 2013-100 be rescinded, zoning revert to AR10, agricultural residential 10 acre minimum lot size. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Is the applicant present for item number 2? All right. Any questions of the applicant, of the commission? Any questions or comments?
No.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we accept per staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Buck and a second by,
About Jones.
I'm sorry, Jones. Sorry. And second by Commissioner Gordon. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 2A, or 2B.
2B is an evaluation of a request to rezone assessor's parcel 402-77009E from an agricultural residential 10 acre minimum lot size zone to AR5A and AR8A agricultural residential 5 and 8 acre minimum lot size zones to create 5 residential parcels in the scenic vicinity. Staff recommends approval as indicated in the staff report. Thank you.
The applicant is present. We have no speakers on the item. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion to approve item 2B.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Selberg and a second by Commissioner Azami. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 3A.
Item 3A is an evaluation of a preliminary plan for Desert Springs RV subdivision, Tract 3534, being a proposed subdivision on Assessor's Parcel Number 402-32082 and 402-32140, and 402-32170 through 172, located in the Desert Springs vicinity, Mohave County. Staff recommends approval of the proposed subdivision, subject to conditions.
Okay, is the applicant present? Any questions of the applicant? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I have a question
right.
for the staff. Chris, Health Department about the wastewater management on this, do we have any comments on that? I know that this item, I guess, was before us a while ago. Do we have?
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I do not see any comments from the Health Department. This particular proposal will go to the Department of Real Estate for any wastewater treatment approvals.
Okay, because I know that initially when we had that, there was some concern about that. Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion on item 3A.
I move we accept per staff's recommendation, excuse me.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jones and a second by Commissioner Coletta. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3B.
3B is an evaluation of a request for zoning use permit on Assessor's Parcel 402-32140 for a wastewater treatment system in an SD-CRE Special Development Commercial Recreation Zone in the Desert Springs vicinity. Staff recommends approval as indicated in the staff report. This may go partly to Commissioner Azami's question. It was a requirement of the rezone that a ZUP be approved for the wastewater system. It, of course, will have to meet state standards.
Thank you.
The applicant is present. Any questions of the applicant? We've seen and talked about this quite a bit. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve per staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Posnell and a second by Commissioner Selberg. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 4.
Item 4 is an evaluation of a request for a zoning use permit on Assessor's Parcel Number 224-29036B for an off-premise sign in a C21A General Commercial 1 acre minimum lot size zone in the South Mohave Valley. Staff recommends approval as indicated in the staff report. Since it's along state highway, it will also need to get a ADOT permit as part of the conditions. Thank you.
Is the applicant present for item number 4? The applicant is not present. We have no speakers on the item. Any questions or comments from the commission?
Excuse me,
Yes.
did you say they have to get with ADOT or they have gotten with ADOT?
I'm not sure whether or not they have, but generally ADOT doesn't act on their permits until they know that our ZUP is in place.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion on item number 4.
I move we accept per staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jones and a second by Commissioner Gordon. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 5.
Item 5 is an evaluation of a request for a zoning use permit on Assessor's Parcel 102-54014 for a communication facility with 180-foot tower in an AR 36A zone in the Aubrey Peak vicinity. Staff recommends approval as indicated in the staff report. Thank you.
Is the applicant present for item number 5?
Lawyer.
Any questions of the applicant? We have no speakers on the item. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion to approve item number 5 per staff's recommendations.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Selberg, a second by Commissioner Jones. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 6A.
Item 6A is a request for an amendment to the Mohave County General Plan from an SDA suburban development area land use designation to UDA GC urban development area general commercial land use designation, and an amendment of the North Kingman area plan from AR agricultural residential land designation to C commercial. Let's see, where am I? Of Assessor's Parcel 310-15-003-004, 005, and a portion of 310-15-012 to allow commercial development in the Kingman Airport vicinity. Staff recommends approval of the proposed Mohave County General Plan and North Kingman Area Plan amendments. As indicated in the staff report, we have received some objections to this proposal. Did we get one letter of support? Thank you.
Is the applicant present? Excuse me. We have one speaker on the item, Kathy Rug. Did I pronounce that? Rugi, okay. Would you like to come up?
Thank you.
Please state your name.
My name is Kathy Ruge. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today. My family and I own 10 parcels in the vicinity of the proposal, and we would like to just express our opposition to this. I would like to thank, first of all, John Montgomery for answering my email and answering one question that I had on the objection. But we feel that the map is misleading that we had. My family received several communications about this issue, and there were no two that were alike, even though that we had several parcels affected, including the only two undeveloped lots that are exactly adjacent to this rezone request on the curve in the development of Long Mountain, the ranch at Long Mountain. As far as we know, I sent letters to each of you, so I'm repeating a lot of what was in the letter. If you had a chance to read them, I'm sorry. But when I first saw the maps, I was excited about the opportunity to have a grocery store and a gas station and restaurant there. And then looking at it, those are just ideas and proposals, I think. And it's a great concern to me that it really is just an idea and there's no real plan for that kind of development there. And I really don't know what could be there. I really don't understand what open lot storage is, but if it is in fact what it sounds like, I don't want the rezone request to be granted. The ranch at Long Mountain is a wonderful community, and the property values and the entire development would be impacted. There's already plenty of available land in the Kingman Airport area for such development. Please understand that we're not against growth and development in the area. However, we feel strongly that the impact on the ranch at Long Mountain residential community would be far more negative than the positive impact of whatever growth that this rezone might encourage. Thank you very much.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead.
Excuse me, I have a question to ask you.
Yes.
You said that your property is right next to this property?
Yes, sir. We're inside the fence line of the ranch at Long Mountain. We've got two lots that are right on the curve.
What is the zoning of your property?
Is residential, planned development, planned housing. I'm not exactly what the exact designation is.
John, could you help us with that? What are
Ranch.
the area, it seems like, they're across the street and around it, I see buildings and commercial, so what could you?
Commissioner Azarmi, Mr. Chairman, I don't have the specifics for those parcels. My guess is that they're the residential parcels are probably zoned RO. I believe that's a manufactured homes prohibited zone. And there are, in fact, on that, the southern boundary of this property does abut part of the ranch at Long Mountain. To address the question about the CMO use, basically, we would normally look at C2H for a property like this, but C2H requires both frontage on and access to a highway. And so when you get back into the interior of this proposal, those would not qualify for C2H zoning because of the lack of that connection. CMO does allow some light manufacturing uses. And I think the proposal originally was that the parcels up in the northern end would be primarily the CMOs. If the commission was inclined, you would be able to recommend something that maybe the CMO or the CMO that would be adjacent to these residential areas be limited to C2H uses. One possibility. That answer?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
On the master plan map that you provided us, you have lots from lot number 4 all the way to lot number 20. Are those R1s? What are the zoning on those? Are those commercial or?
Currently, they're zoned AR.
So all those subdivided and they're all AR?
This is a proposal. They have not been divided like this yet.
Oh, okay.
This is a concept of how they would divide those parcels under the rezone, which of course is the next item.
Okay, so right now, all that is vacant and there are one parcel and it's AR, right?
It's all vacant. There are some lots that actually front on Highway 95, no, Highway 66, that are zoned A, the general zone, which allows both residential and commercial development. But the bulk of the request is currently zoned AR.
Okay, and across the street on the other side,
The airport.
are those,
That's the airport.
Yes,
The airport?
Yes.
across the highway is the Airport Industrial Park.
okay. So where can we see where's the residential homes are that, she mentioned that her property is there?
On that next map.
On the
Next map.
Township map?
I think when we get to,
one they've got on the screen.
Township map?
well, you can barely see at the bottom, Cane Ranch Road. That's part of the ranch at Long Mountain.
Well, it seems to me the big problem is the open lot storage stuff, which can be a little overwhelming. I think that if it's within our power, the C2H limits a lot of, what are we doing here?
Okay.
Okay. Does that help you out there, Betty?
Could you point out where your property is?
Yes, sir.
So is that part of the one that John was talking about that is not subdivided yet?
No.
No, it's
That's
south of
the
that.
ranch at Long Mountain.
It's right off of Lone Mountain Road.
The fence line is right here, and then the part that they're changing is right here, right out, right behind the fence of our, I believe it is 4276 East Cane Ranch and 4299 and 4330. The two lots that we have are right over the fence.
Well, to be honest with you, ma'am, the location, the neighboring properties across the street, the airport, it seems like this parcel would be, and being on 66, it would be suitable for, C2, C2H, or even CMO. I don't see, from the ordinance that we have in place, why, we should, turn down even a CMO. I don't understand. I mean, it is Highway 66. It is pretty much designated for this kind of application within the neighboring, properties. I understand there are some homes around it, I assume within the vicinity, but I don't see any other application for this.
Well, Mr. Meddy, I think what she's concerned about is the owner down the road saying, I'm going to parcel off a couple acres, and it turns into a junkyard.
Yes, sir.
That's why if we just use the uses that are in the C2H, even though we're rezoning it, just those uses that are allowable in a C2H or C2 would eliminate that fear of any, I mean, they could still do a truck stop, they could still do certain things, but it certainly would not end up being a salvage yard or a recycle yard.
Mr. Chairman, could we have the applicant?
I get, the other concern that I would have is that it's already designated in the plan, and I know that the whole question is whether or not to amend the plan, but we have plans in place, and it's agricultural residential, and I would just ask that it remain that way.
To remain AR. Could we have the applicant?
Yeah, could the applicant please come forward? Please state your name.
Thank you, Commission. Dave Hollingsworth, representing Tom Halfley, the owner of the property. Two things. First, on the map that was just up there, the lots that are owned by the Ruggies in Long Mountain, in front of Long Mountain along 66, already zoned commercial. So they're sitting next to commercial property already that's there. Secondly, the CMO is a designation which does reflect the fact that already the frontage parcels are zoned A general. So under that A general zoning, we actually have more latitude with those frontage parcels than we would under CMO or C2H, either one. The CMO proposal was in discussion with staff to do that rather than have two proposals before you, which would be to do C2H on the very frontage portion and then CMO on the portion of the map that you see that has some smaller parcels to the far north, 1.5 to 2 acre pieces. And the reason for the CMO in that particular area is the fact that the airport industrial park across the road does not allow a small investor to go in there because of their restrictions. If you buy a 2 acre piece from them, you have to build X size building, employ X number of people within X period of time, or they won't even sell it to you. And if they do sell it to you and you choose to resell it in the future, that new buyer has to meet those same restrictions. So we're trying to provide something that's not going to be so restrictive to allow that tradesman to have his plumbing company there, or drywall, or framing, or whatever. So that's the thought process for doing CMO on the whole piece. It'll primarily be C2H on the frontage and primary CMO on that far northern one that's got the smaller pieces proposed.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Does the owner have an application in terms of like going with a certain business there? Do you know of? I mean, I
No,
see that
no.
you have a site plan or a master plan that shows like a grocery store,
Right.
gas pass, so that was just a,
That was actually drawn up by a Phoenix engineer at some $20,000 worth of cost to the owner back in 2005 and 6, was submitted to the county, and for some reason, lost. It never went any further. I don't know exactly what happened, but we had all these beautiful, beautiful drawings of what he had proposed to do on that piece of property, and it never happened.
Okay, so at this time, there is no
Not any
intent.
proposed user at this time, no.
So you're just rezoning it for purpose of like a speculation or whatever, you know?
To match what the general plan shows already with the strip that's along there as a general, and try to get it into the today's uses.
So there's no business intended at this time.
Not at this time. We want to have something that's available with the zoning out of the way, because there could be a C-store that would look to come to that area, but they're not going to do it if they have to go through this process.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I was
Silbert.
just, my question is the map I'm looking at in our, it's map 103, on page 103, shows commercial manufacturing open lot storage specifically for the lots on the highway, and I was wondering if that's, it doesn't sound like that's your intent to do that.
Well, no, that was the suggestion from staff, rather than have two zonings come before you. A C2H on the frontage and CMO on that northern portion. They said, let's do it as CMO, present it to the commission on that basis and the supervisors subsequently.
Why do you specifically show open lot storage on that map?
That's your zoning. That
That's
was the
part of the
choice.
CMO.
That's our,
CMO
that's our
was the
classification.
choice. Either
Okay.
C2H on all, CMO on all, or C2H on the front, 20-some acres, and then CMO on that northern portion. But we'd like to have that northern portion is the critical one as far as we're concerned, in order to have a competitive piece of property that a small user can go to that they cannot do at the Airport Industrial Park.
So what you're saying is the northern, those 4 through 20 are the ones that you want the CMO?
Correct.
Okay, and the stuff to the south is C2H?
It's fine. Yeah.
All right,
Those would be more retail-type uses there.
okay, all right, that's
And,
different
Mr.
than I
Chairman.
thought.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.
For what it's worth, Grace Neal Parkway, the long-term vision for that is to be a major thoroughfare connector from Route 66 over to Stockton Hill Road, a northern connector through there. So, kind of fits in line with what they're proposing.
Thank you, Rick. Yes, ma'am, do you want to come back up for a second?
I just wanted to clarify, he said that the zoning that was already there on the lots that we own, and that's true for this front part here, but this part that we're mostly concerned about is not, it was AR residential back here. And the other concern that we would have is, while it sounds really nice to have these labels like you guys were talking about, the restaurant and everything, it could have just as easily said junkyard or, anything like
But
that. So-
that junkyard is not allowed in C2H
Okay, but what, I didn't,
without a conditional use permit anyway.
okay, I just, he was incorrect with what he said, the lots that we own on the curve that is adjacent to agriculture residential. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And there'll be a fence around this entire thing anyway.
Right.
So you won't be looking at anything. It looks like there's a piece of real estate between your lots and the subdivision too, if I looked at that correctly.
So, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
It seems the applicant is requesting the north part to be a CMO and the south side to be C2H.
Correct.
John, could we set it up that way? I mean, is it one parcel? Is it?
No, actually, the 4 through 20 would be CMO.
CMO, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
The
that
north,
would be
yeah.
CMO. And then on the other side of Grace Neal Parkway would be C2H.
So north of Grace Neal Parkway would be
CMO.
CMO, and the south would be C2H. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I believe you could make that
You
recommendation.
could make it in a motion that way?
okay.
I'd remind you, though, that the issue before you right now is the amendments to the
Correct.
general plan
Yeah, we
and
haven't
the
got
area
to the
plan.
rezoning.
That would be the next
Most of
item.
what we've been discussing is actually the rezone, which is the next
Well,
item.
we are paving the road for the next item.
When are you going to pave Grace Neal Parkway?
All right, any additional questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Azami and a second by Commissioner Posnell. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 6B.
6B is an evaluation of request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 310-15-003-004-005, and a portion of 310-15-012 from A General C2H. There's about an acre that's already C2H. And CMO zones to allow commercial development in the Kingman Airport vicinity. Staff recommendation is for approval, and this may be a point that you want to use the Grace Neal Parkway dividing line, if that's your pleasure. Thank you.
Make sure you get the motion right.
Don't have discussion.
The applicant is present. Any questions or comments of the applicant? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to have properties north of Grace Neal Parkway to be zoned CMO, and south of the Grace Neal Parkway to be C2H.
I second.
We have a motion by Mr. Azami and a second by Mr. Jones. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
See, John? Now we don't need to discuss. See, we worked it out.
Okay, any monthly reports from staff?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Let me ask Chris to update commission about the zoning ordinance meetings and where we are at with it and what is anticipated in the months to come.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Azami. Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, at the present time, we've actually been through the entire ordinance and gone through each chapter. In addition, we covered 2 additional ordinances that the county has that are related to the zoning ordinance, and that's the dark sky ordinance as well as the nuisance abatement ordinance. Everything has a first draft. We're now in process of going through and kind of checking the wording, making sure that it reads as anticipated, and in essence going through the ordinance at a second time. We've done most of the chapters in the beginning, most of the chapters at the end, and so what's left is the middle. We're hoping to get I'm kind of hoping to get those done the next month or so. And then after that, we'll be putting together an entire document and I believe floating it to the board, or excuse me, floating it to the entire commission and then on to the board.
All right, thank you. Call to the public on any item other than what was on the agenda today. Close the public comment period. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Thank you all.